So Zohran Mamdani just became the first Muslim mayor of New York City. And 50 Cent, who is a New York native, is not too happy about that. In fact, he just posted this on his Instagram, saying rest in peace to New York City.
DL Hughley just snapped on 50 Cent, and let's be real, he didn't miss a single shot. DL is calling out these rich celebs who love to act like they're still for the people. But the second a policy shows up that could actually help regular folks, they lose their minds. It's wild. So here's the deal. Mamdani just got elected as the new mayor of NYC, a huge moment for the city. But guess what? The man hasn't even moved into City Hall yet, and 50 Cent is already out here acting like New York is done for. DL clearly had enough. He's out here firing warning shots straight at 50, exposing him for being fake and two-faced. It's getting spicy fast. And the crazy part, this drama got so loud that even Mayor Donnie himself had to step in and address the mess. Everything blew up right after Mamdani made history. New York City's first Muslim mayor and one of the most progressive voices the city's ever seen. His campaign, all about real issues, rent freezes, affordable housing, and free public transit. Basically, he's trying to make life easier for the everyday grind, not just keep catering to the super rich. Things are heating up in the city and people are definitely picking sides. And that right there is exactly why 50 Cent is throwing a major fit after Mayor Donnie's big win. 50 couldn't hold it in. He jumped online acting like New York was officially done for. He even posted a picture of a tombstone that read RIP NYC with the city's year of death marked as 2025. That's cold. Right after that, he dropped another post. A photo of himself having dinner with his crew, captioned "Escape from New York, hit the road. All roads lead to Shreveport." Like, wow. Now here's the twist. Shreveport isn't just some random spot. It's a city in northwest Louisiana where 50's been quietly building his next empire. Through his G-Unit film and television company, he's leased massive studio space, announced a $50 million entertainment district, and started branding Shreveport as the new heart of his business world. Basically, he's saying if anyone wants to work with him, they better pack their bags and head south because everything's moving to Shreveport now. But why is he really mad about Mayor Donnie's win? Here's the tea. The new mayor's plan includes raising income taxes by 2% for anyone pulling in over $1 million a year. On top of that, he wants to bump corporate taxes up to around 11.5% and fix that broken property tax mess that lets billionaire penthouses get taxed less than homes in the Bronx. 50 clearly wasn't having it, and his post made it clear. He's not sticking around to pay extra. Things are getting heated, and everyone's watching to see if 50 actually packs up for good. Mayor Donnie even said he wants to shift some of that tax pressure off working-class neighborhoods and put it where it actually belongs. On those ultra-rich areas like Central Park South. You know, the ones packed with luxury condos getting sweetheart tax deals while regular homeowners in the outer boroughs keep getting squeezed. That's the real reason 50 Cent is out here throwing a full-blown tantrum, acting like the city just flatlined overnight. But the internet wasn't having it. People in the comments tore him apart. The backlash was brutal. Tons of folks were calling him a sellout and saying he's become a total hypocrite who forgot where he came from. One person wrote, "Guy who sold crack to his community suddenly cares about their well-being." Another reminded him that back when he got shot 9 times, his hospital bill was covered by taxpayer programs. Someone else clapped back with, "Your grandma was on food stamps." And one fan even joked, "Won't be long before he's in Tel Aviv kissing the wall, LOL. It was chaos in the comments. That's when DL Hughley jumped in and dropped a message straight for 50. DL said, "It's wild to see people like 50, who came from the struggle, now crying over policies designed to help the same folks they used to be." That line hit hard. He didn't stop there either. DL called out all these rich celebs for staying quiet when Trump was cutting food stamps and playing politics with hunger. But now that Mayor Donnie's trying to help the working class, they suddenly want to act scared and tell everyone he's the problem? Please, the double standards are out of control, and DL made sure everyone saw it. Now things got even messier. Mayor Donnie decided to clap back at 50 Cent and clear the air about his tax plan. This all started after 50 claimed he'd pay the mayor $285,750 just to leave New York City. Wild move, right? But Mayor Donnie wasn't pressed at all. He laughed it off and said 50 clearly doesn't get how taxing the top 1% would actually help everyone. That confidence had people talking. Still, 50 wasn't letting it go. He later posted a clip of the mayor's response on his Instagram, writing in the caption, "I think his intentions are good, but his tax plan is gonna run the big money out of the city. And if he defund the police, they are gonna purge. All roads lead to Shreveport." Yeah, he really went there. 50's still pushing the everyone's leaving narrative like New York's about to fall apart any minute. But let's be real, that's one of the oldest scare tactics in the game. Every time someone talks about raising taxes on the rich, they start threatening to pack up and bounce. People have been pulling that line since the 70s, and guess what? They never really leave. Why? Because deep down, they all know New York is where the real money and power flow. 50 might talk big about Shreveport, but everyone knows the Big Apple still runs the game. Let's break this down with a perfect example. Billionaire hedge fund boss Bill Ackman spent months going after Mayor Donnie during the campaign. And he didn't just debate policies, he went low. He pushed out racist posts about the mayor, painted him as some kind of radical threat to New York, and even told his followers he'd pack his bags and move to Florida if Donnie ever won. Real dramatic, right? But get this, the second Mayor Donnie was officially declared the winner, Ackman completely switched up his tune. He jumped on X, Twitter, and posted, "Zohran Mamdani, congrats on the win. Now you have a big responsibility. If I can help NYC, just let me know what I can do." Like what? Weren't you the same guy saying you'd bounce to Florida? Suddenly he's offering to help the same man he dragged for months. That's some Olympic level backpedaling right there. So what really happened? Simple. The I'm leaving act was never real. It was just a scare tactic, the same play rich folks run every single time power starts shifting away from them. They talk about fleeing the city, cry about the economy collapsing, and pretend they're the victims, all to keep control. It's a performance. But here's the truth. Those billionaires don't actually want to leave New York. Their companies are here, their business deals go down here, their investors live here. You can't just rebuild that kind of power in Florida or Louisiana, no matter how low the taxes are. So instead, they bluff, hoping politicians will get scared and back down. Classic move, but this time, people are finally seeing through it. And when that whole "we're leaving" act doesn't work, they flip the script, suddenly playing nice and pretending they were team players all along. That's exactly what we're seeing with Bill Ackman and 50 Cent. The second someone threatens even a tiny slice of their massive wealth, they start spreading fear, talking like they care about the working class. But when the dust settles, guess what? They're still here and richer than ever. Now about that other part, when 50 claimed Mayor Donnie was gonna defund the police. If he actually listened to the mayor's plan, he'd know that was never the case. Donnie didn't say anything about scrapping law enforcement. He talked about rebalancing the city's budget, putting more money into housing, mental health care, and real community programs instead of pumping millions into a system that still struggles to prevent crime. That's not some purge, that's common sense. Cities that invest in people instead of punishment always see less crime, not more. And that's a proven fact. But 50's whole post was built on fear, not facts. He's out here trying to make it sound like the city's doomed when really, the only thing he's worried about is a small tax hike he can easily cover from his mansion in Houston. Meanwhile, regular New Yorkers are just trying to pay rent, catch the train, and survive the daily grind. The contrast is wild, and people are starting to notice who's really looking out for the city. But the drama didn't stop there. 50 kept doubling down, posting clips, memes, and slick captions trying to get the last word. He started spinning the story like he was the voice of reason, warning that the city would fall apart under Mayor Donnie's leadership. But the thing is, people weren't buying it anymore. The comment sections turned into full-on debates, with fans calling him out for fear-mongering while others tried to defend him, saying he was just keeping it real. It turned messy fast. Then out of nowhere, a few big names from the industry started chiming in too. Some agreed with 50, saying higher taxes would push out investors and kill opportunities for creatives. But others fired back, saying the real issue wasn't taxes, it was greed. One influencer even said, the rich keep screaming about leaving, but the second you mention fair pay or affordable living, they ghost you. That line hit hard and went viral overnight. Meanwhile, Mayor Donnie didn't even flinch. He went live the next morning and calmly broke down how his tax plan would actually strengthen small businesses and fund programs that keep neighborhoods safe and thriving. He said, New York doesn't belong to the wealthy few. It belongs to everyone who works hard to make this city run. That line caught fire across social media, turning into the quote of the week. So while 50's out here talking about escape routes and Shreveport dreams, the rest of the city seems ready to move forward with or without him.
What I would say to you, 50, if you are indeed watching, or anyone else who's watching this show, is I continue to think that having the top 1% of New York City, who are making more than $1 million a year, having them pay 2% more for an economic agenda that would transform every New Yorker's life, including their own, is something that is worthwhile.
The tension between celebrity wealth and real-life struggle is louder than ever. And New Yorkers are making it clear whose side they're really on. And just when people thought the dust was finally settling, 50 jumped right back into the mix, this time taking shots during an interview. He claimed he was just being honest about what's happening in New York, saying he's seen too many bad decisions from politicians who don't understand money. But the internet was quick to call him out again. Folks pointed out that the same man who built his brand off the hustle is now defending billionaires scared of paying a little extra. The irony was way too loud. Clips from that interview spread everywhere, and you could feel the divide growing. Some of his fans were cheering him on, saying he's speaking facts, while others were dragging him, saying he's lost touch with reality. One viral comment said, 50 used to rap about surviving the streets, now he's crying over tax brackets. That one had everyone talking. Meanwhile, Mayor Donnie's approval rating started climbing even higher. People appreciated that he didn't clap back with shade or insults. He just kept it real, breaking down numbers, policies, and actual facts. His calm energy made him look like the adult in the room, while 50's posts started to look like emotional rants. By the end of the week, even a few celebs who had been quiet started speaking up in support of the mayor's vision, calling it the start of a new era for NYC.
Here's what's interesting to me. So Mamdani is going to be the new mayor of New York, a 34-year-old kid. Like I said, I live in New York. I couldn't vote in that election, but if I could, it would have been an easy choice. But here's what I really don't understand. The man who is actively trying to use hunger to get his political way, saying that people won't have food unless they do his political bidding, is saying that the man who wants to make rent cheaper, public transportation cheaper, and food cheaper is the one who is ruining America. So the man who wants to starve you to get what he wants thinks that the dude who wants to feed you, house you, and get you, make you able to get around cheaper is the horrible one. That tells you everything you need to know about where we are.
It's clear the city's shifting, and this whole 50 versus Donnie's situation has turned into something way bigger than social media beef. It's now about who really stands for the people and who's just protecting their pockets. By the next weekend, things had reached a whole new level. The internet couldn't stop talking about 50's feud with Mayor Donnie. Every blog, every gossip page, and every podcast was dissecting it from every angle. What started as a tax argument had turned into a full-blown cultural debate about fame, money, and loyalty to the city that made you. People weren't just talking about policies anymore. They were questioning who really remembers their roots once they hit the top. One podcast host said, "It's not even about taxes. It's about who's still connected to the struggle and who's pretending they are." That clip went viral, racking up millions of views. The streets were buzzing with opinions, some siding with 50 for keeping it real, others praising Mayor Donnie for finally standing up to celebrity privilege. It felt like a showdown between two versions of New York, the flashy, money-driven side and the hard-working, everyday grind. Meanwhile, 50 posted yet another video standing outside one of his Shreveport studios saying, "I'm just showing people there's another way to win. You don't need New York." But the comment section wasn't buying it. People were clowning him, saying stuff like, "New York made you, don't act brand new. And you can take 50 out of Queens, but you can't take Queens out of 50. And while all that noise kept growing online, Mayor Donnie stayed cool, showing up at community events, talking directly with residents, and proving that his focus was still on the people. The contrast between their moves couldn't be clearer. One chasing headlines, the other chasing change. The city's watching closely now, wondering who's really going to come out on top. And that right there is the exact disconnect DL Hughley was calling out. The moment someone who built their entire legacy off get rich or die trying suddenly starts acting like the problem is poor people just trying to survive, that's when you know something's off. DL wasn't just throwing shade, he was exposing a pattern that's been running for years. At the end of the day, this isn't just about 50 Cent or one billionaire throwing a tantrum. It's about a system where the wealthy keep trying to convince everyone else that progress is dangerous. They start fear campaigns, talk about the economy collapsing, and act like helping the working class is some kind of threat. It's manipulation, plain and simple. Meanwhile, Mayor Donnie's out here talking about real change, making rent fair, creating jobs, and giving working people a break for once. And somehow, that's what's got the rich shaking in their designer boots. The same people screaming RIP New York aren't packing any bags. They're still here, still collecting checks, and still living off the same city they claim is finished. It's wild how that works. So now I gotta know what you think. Do you side with 50, saying Mayor Donnie's plan could hurt New York? Or do you think 50's just another one who lost touch with where he came from once the money got too good? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear it all. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and share this video if you're feeling the breakdown. Hit that notification bell so you never miss the next drop, and make sure to comment your take below. This convo's just getting started, and you already know, the truth always makes the loudest noise.